Good evening or good day. We're over here at MTG Finance, where today we're going to be talking about a couple of reserve list cards. We're talking about Double Masters. It's on everybody's mind. Going to briefly go over something going on with Mystery Boosters. An important card has just been unbanned in Pioneer. We're going to talk about that card as well. And make sure to stick around until the end of the video. There's a cool podcast I want to talk about. All of that and more on this episode of Market the Gathering. The video starts right now.
Special thanks to our Patreon supporters who power our channel. Check out our Patreon for monthly giveaways, exclusive content, and even a starring role in our fan fight series. Link in the description below.
Hello and welcome to the day. Thank you for spending your time with us. I'm Jake. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Magic. We got a lot to talk about today, so we're going to get right into it. We're talking about a couple of reserve list cards. We're talking about Pioneer. We got Mystery Boosters to go over as well as Double Masters. I got a unique podcast I want to share with you, so I want you to stick around to the end. This is for people that are really into MTG Finance. You're going to want to check that out. And then we're also going to have a tip at the end, something that I want to share with you as well, so make sure to stick around for that. If you like this finance content, I encourage you to click like, click subscribe. Best way to support the channel with just the click of a button. If you are so compelled, consider checking out our Patreon. It's down in the description of the video. So MTG Finance is a devil. I just noticed you guys have 66666 members. Nope, we have 66.8 members. So let's just get this right out of the way. First thing I want to talk about today is we've just had a card unbanned in Pioneer, and it is Oath of Nissa. We could just tell by looking at the graph here, this card has been all over the place. It goes up, it goes down. You have Pioneer announcement. It goes way up, gets banned, goes way down, goes back up, goes way down. It has just been unbanned in Pioneer, and you can see what's happened just in the last few days. Unbanned in Pioneer, shoots back up. Now it's above $5, so the card was hovering around $1. It had playability in Modern, but keep in mind right now we don't have a lot of paper Magic, so formats like Modern and Pioneer, formats that people were generally bringing their paper decks to the LGS on the weekend, they're not doing that right now in a lot of places. Paper cards, if you're sitting on Oath of Nissa, I would just sell this. The shenanigans that this card is going to cause in Pioneer with 3-cost planeswalkers like Teferi, it's just going to be filthy. I think the card will end up being banned in the future. It just is too big of an enabler. It has a lot of velocity that comes with this card. Get to look at the top 3, but then also a lot of fixing that comes with it as well, all being very, very efficient at 1 green mana. And keep in mind, this isn't the kind of card where you can't play it again, get the effect again, and then just sack one of your Oath of Nissas. If you are sitting on these, I would sell them. I wouldn't expect this to go much higher. Right now we are in the hype window. It is always best to sell into hype. There's a lot of noise on MTG Finance, so I do my best to sort through this subreddit. I'm bringing you very specific things that I've read, I've looked at, things that I think are worth noting. If you go on MTG Finance, you're just going to find a lot of people talking about crazy stuff, and I do think it takes a little bit of experience before you go into that subreddit and just try to assimilate information. There's a lot of hidden agendas, and I think there's a lot of experience that needs to come with checking out that information. So we just talked about Oath of Nissa. In the spirit of talking about powerful green cards, let's go ahead and talk about a reserve list card from Mirage, Rising Trend for Hall of Gemstone. Post says, so Hall of Gemstone is climbing pretty fast in the last few months. The card went over 2 attempts of buyout in the past, but the recent rise is progressive and doesn't look like a buyout. Do you know why it's growing? Commander popularity. And the reason that I'm highlighting this post is because of this comment here that I saw, and I think this comment is something that you need to know. It's just a general rule of thumb. If you're thinking about, I want to put my money into MTG Finance, and you're resolved to do that. You don't want to put your money into Bitcoin or stocks or anything else. If you are going to put it into something in MTG, and this is because we have so many collector products, it just makes sense to put it into reserve list. Hall of Gemstone is a very specific card. Top comment here says the reason actually might be that it has been mentioned a couple of times in this sub now, and keep that in mind, this sub is 66.8k members. When it gets mentioned in this sub, it is reserve list and below $20, so people speculate. In my opinion, it's only going to keep growing over time. I don't know if it's going to have a sudden spike after being mentioned yet again here, but with all the buzz that reserve list below 10 article already caused, I would say it's quite likely. It does see EDH play, to be honest, might be a $30 card. It shouldn't go any further though. So the Oracle text of Hall of Gemstone. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player chooses a color until end of turn, lands tapped for mana, produce mana of the chosen color instead of any other color. It's a very specific effect. It will never be printed again. It is a unique way to fix mana. Now I want to talk about another card that is spiking right now, and that is Allurin. And Allurin, however, is much more powerful, in my opinion, than Hall of Gemstone. Another enchantment as well. Allurin reads, any player may play a creature card with total casting cost 3 or less whenever he or she could play an instant and without paying its casting cost. All creatures 3 CMC or less can be played with flash and without paying their mana cost. This is a pretty big deal. I want to go over to MTG Stocks on this one because you can see here Allurin, and I want you to see the difference between it and Hall of Gemstone because it's very easy to come over to this website and just search reserve list cards and just start buying the ones that are cheap. But this is the thing. A lot of reserve list cards were banned simply because they were asinine. So you can't just come in here and buy cheap reserve list cards. You have to buy reserve list cards that are good and effective. If you build around Allurin, this card can be very, very, very oppressive. It's at its all-time highest price as of July 15th. Filming of this video is 7/16/2020. But here's the graph, and you can just see this is very recent. And this could likely be because of the MTG Finance crew, but you can see this is just very recent. Card has gone up to $75. Market is still $44.65 on this card, but it is seeing an adjustment along with a lot of reserve list cards. I mean, you can see everything up here is just going up in price. I don't want you to think you need to run to the hills, but if you are on the fence about Allurin, and if it's a card that you have been wanting to pick up, price barrier has just got a little bit higher. This is a card that has had a lot of buzz recently. I see it popping up more and more in MTG Finance. I think it's worth mentioning. But I do want you to recognize the difference between a card like Allurin and Hall of Gemstone. And I want you to recognize the difference between those cards and these other reserve list cards. So you're looking at reserve list here that is just, this is just like, it's just jank. This is a reserve list card. 5 for a 4/4. Ogre Enforcer cannot be destroyed by lethal damage unless a single source deals enough damage to destroy it. Like, there's no reason to do a buyout of a card like that. It's good to familiarize yourself with this and make sure that you can tell the difference between a reserve list card worth buying and a reserve list card that is just jank. And I'm sure there's tons of people that are watching this right now and you're like, this is so straightforward. I don't even know why he's telling us this. But a lot of people don't know. They think they can just come in, buy reserve list cards, and that they're going to get their money back. I was a victim of Pendrel Mists. I bought Pendrel Mists when they were like $16 to $20. Because Pendrel Mists, let's see if we can find it. Here it is. Yeah, let's see if we can find where Jake bought Pendrel Mists. Can you figure out on the graph where Jake bought Pendrel Mists? I'll give you a clue. Look at that. That's actually not when I bought it. But on July 15th of 2018, it got as high as 110. But no, I would have bought it around market during that same time. And so you could just, like, this is just what's important, but you could see it's an enchantment, which is one of the boxes that you normally check. Okay, is it a good enchantment? Is it as powerful as Moat? No. But it has something like Tabernacle has. It has during your upkeep, pay 1 or bury this creature. Each creature gains this? Oh my god, this is such a powerful stacks card. But the thing is it just isn't. This card just didn't take off. It's just not that great. Although stacks is good, enchantments are sticky, they're hard to answer. But keep that in mind. The difference between good reserve list and just jank that people are trying to push. We talked about reserve list. I want to talk about mystery boosters. This post says, so mystery boosters have come and gone. Originally, they were widely believed by dudes on this sub to be a print-to-demand product that would flood LGSs and be available until the end of the year. Obviously, that never happened, and LGSs have all but been cleared out of their tiny second wave of product, the free boxes provided by Wizards as part of their COVID relief effort, which they sold at ridiculously inflated prices. Well, the LGS was supposed to sell those boxes as a way to get money. We're not really going to talk so much about what this person is saying in this post. This is just kind of a PSA that it does look like with all of the product coming out that we will not be seeing mystery boosters for at least a while. So if that's a product that you were interested in, I would try to find those boxes around like 140 to 150 because most likely they're going to start going up. And I do believe that, which is why I'm highlighting this post. I do think those boxes are probably going to go up in the long term. When you think about how good a product Mystery Booster was, or Mystery Booster is, I don't really know what more I can ask for. Every pack has a foil. Originally, before the huge price correction, you could get the boxes for like $100. So you're opening a product that has cards like Mana Crypt and Rhystic Study and Carpet of Flowers and Send Triplets foil. It's just, there's a lot in it. So I do think it's worth mentioning. I think these boxes are going to start going up, especially as we have stuff like Double Masters coming out. We have Jumpstart. We're not even talking about Jumpstart in this video, but Jumpstart does come out this weekend. It's out as you hear me talking right now. It is likely out, but we don't need to talk much about it. What you need to know about that is I think it's going to be best to just buy singles as that product gets opened. I think there's going to be a lot of people buying Jumpstart that are going to be trying to recoup their value. We just talked about Double Masters briefly, and now we're going to talk about it more at length, and it is about Double Masters VIP Pack. It is $85.99 plus free shipping. By the time you're seeing this, this is most likely sold out. But I will talk about, this is a great subreddit to be a part of if you're looking to find deals that are quick and the cheapest, just the fastest deals. If you are constantly refreshing this sub, if you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna check in on MTG Finance, I'm in the bathroom, might as well get my phone out. Oh wow, Double Masters VIP pack, $85.99 plus free shipping. But I want to talk about this product because right now, as you're watching this, we are in the pre-sale phase of these VIP packs. On Monday, there's supposed to be spoilers for this product. This item ships. If we go over here to eBay, yeah, 273 sold already. Keep in mind, this item is going to ship on 8/7. So we're about to get a lot of Double Masters hype going in the next couple weeks. Once we see what kind of cards are in this, and once we have a better idea of what is in this. This is a little SCG article, but if you look at the VIP edition, what we know about VIP is it's 2 foil showcase rares or mythics. The ones that we have seen so far, 0 of them are bad. 2 foil rares or mythics, 8 foil uncommons, non-foil commons, 12 full art basic lands, 2 are foil, and 2 foil double-sided tokens. This is basically it. Other than the limited spoilers that we've seen for Double Masters, we don't know much about the cards. There are more cards than the cards you see here. If you want to go look up Double Master spoilers, there are tons of videos on those. Although we do have a basic idea of the contents of VIP Edition, we don't exactly know what is in it. So why not speculate? I got in here and there's a lot of people talking about Double Masters. This is the basic rhetoric though, is that because this product is so powerful, because it's so expensive, because you're paying upwards of $100 for 1 pack of cards. A lot of people are saying that if this is amiss in any way, like they think that gambling has never existed before in a casino, that you can't put $100 into a slot machine and just watch it evaporate into cigarette smoke and whatever free drink you got. They think that this product is going to be just lit no matter what. This is the one post where I do want to talk about some of the rumors. And here's one from Sad Critters. There are a lot of rumors that there's a trick to the VIP edition, something we're either not thinking or hasn't been explained well yet. Some larger distributors are hearing from leakers that people may be sorry they didn't buy into that product. Whether or not they're using that to drive FOMO, fear of missing out, or not is still hard to tell. I know MVP is usually pretty upfront, honest. MVP is a seller. Pretty upfront, honest about what they hear from individuals, and they've stated that they've heard people will be sorry they missed out. Whether or not it's true, we've yet to see. However, we're about to get more information about this product, so this is the kind of thing where it is a gamble. I'm not going to tell you it's not a gamble. I'm not. Because when you go over to eBay and you're paying about $100 for something, you're really hoping it's going to pan out. And when we have so many new collector products, so many new variants, and then foils that come out with roller lines, Grim Tutor out of the Core 2021 collector product, you have to ask yourself, how much confidence do I have in the longevity of the price of these cards? It feels like every month we have a new collector product coming out. It's like people are just getting Ikoria as Core 2021 is coming out. And I know that things were delayed because of coronavirus, but it is important to think about these kind of things, because here's the thing about hype. You can buy this product, and then when you see that it's in the big window of everybody's trying to get it, like right now, people really want Ikoria collector boosters because there's people that are chasing those Godzilla variants. Core 2021 collector, not so much. It's kind of on its way out. But when Double Masters comes out, it is going to be the hot kid on the street. I don't know what that is, the hot kid on the street. Imagine it's somebody who's like has a really cool emo haircut and skateboards and can do a kickflip. If you do buy this for $85 and then for some reason something gets revealed and everybody's like, oh my gosh, why did I not buy the VIP pack? It's gonna for sure spike, and then you can sell into that hype as well. So right now at $85.99, I think it's pretty low risk. However, I do want to hear from you in the comments. What do you think about Double Masters? Do you think the VIP pack is going to be worth it, or do you think it's just another cash grab? I'm going to tell you I think it's a cash grab. I'm not going to tell you I don't think it is. I do think there is some serious potential here, and with this being like the first $100 booster pack, like normally WotC creates a booster box, and then over time the secondary market of that box goes up over time. WotC doesn't just say, hey, here's a $100 pack of cards. This is the first time they're really doing that. But I do think that this is something that we need to be talking about, and if you are not focused on Double Masters and you are focused on MTG Finance, I would say get focused on Double Masters, because this is going to be the future coming up for the next few weeks. Everybody's going to be talking about this. We're going to start to see product openings, and we're going to have a really good idea of the value that comes in this product. Also, because these boxes are so insanely expensive, I'm very interested to see what this does to this new market that's just overflowing with variants. By the way, all of these articles are going to be linked in the description of the video if you want to go check out any of this information yourself or be part of the conversation. Next thing I want to talk about, this was posted by Merfolk Magic, and I did talk about this, and I don't normally do shout outs like this, but I do really like this podcast because I listen to this podcast. If you're looking for something that is a really in-depth conversation about the secondary market and what people that aren't like Card Kingdom, Channel Fireball, or Star City, or any of the big sellers, this is somebody who is like mid to high tier, how they think about and approach buying singles and what their thought processes and their methodology behind the cards that they buy. I'm not going to get into this video. I'm not going to play any excerpts of it, but I do encourage you to go check this video out over at Merfolk Magic. I thought that this video was just excellent and it needs more views. I did not know about this channel before this, but I really like the conversation that they have here. And this is pretty much a little tidbit for the hardcore MTG Finance people that really want to know and have a better idea of how this works. I would start by listening to this conversation here. And then finally, this question about decorum that I thought was actually very, very relevant when buying cards via PayPal or over Facebook. So this is anybody who's buying on like an Instagram or a Facebook or a marketplace. You're always going to have people that ask this question about goods and services or friends and family. When you buy over PayPal, you can specify a reason as to why you're buying an item. If you buy it for goods and services, what you're doing is you're making sure that if that item doesn't arrive, your butt is covered. If you buy something friends and family, there's no fee for the seller. If you buy something goods and services, then the seller has to pay a fee. A lot of Facebook and Instagram and these marketplaces, these people run their business and their reputation based off references. The people on these sites, a lot of them know each other personally, they know each other's faces, or they've had countless transactions with them. So a lot of the times if you go into a Facebook group that sells Magic the Gathering cards, you'll see people that will get a reference check, or they'll just say, hey, can I get a reference check on this person? And then you'll have X amount of people that come in there and we'll talk about that. But the question here is, when negotiating a price, if a seller wants the buyer to pay via PayPal, friends and family, which is what I was talking about, presumably to avoid a fee, which is the exact reason why, is there any reason why they shouldn't be open to a payment via PayPal goods and services? That's what GS is, if you ever see that. If the buyer is willing to pay an additional 2.9% fee, that is the PayPal fee, to make up for what they'd lose. This would prevent the dealer from losing money due to the fee, and the buyer would be assured he'd get his cards. Is there any reason they wouldn't want this sort of arrangement? And I will tell you, no. This is what you need to know. Neither party has protection if you use friends and family. Friends and family is like, I'm sending money to friends and family. Friends and family aren't going to screw me over because they're friends and family. So there should be no sort of protection that needs to be there, because what friends or family are going to screw each other over? store. But no additional fees are paid by the buyer when friends and family is used. And here's the real question. Is there any reason why they shouldn't be open to payment via PayPal goods and services, which is going to offer you protection if the buyer is willing to pay an additional 2.9% fee? It's none whatsoever if they're legitimate. And I concur, if you are trying to cover your butt in one of those instances, just offer the seller money to cover the fee. But if they're a reputable seller, they're going to stake their reputation on who they are. Like myself as a seller, I stake my reputation on the ethics of myself as a seller. I know that if I sell something, I'm going to sell it because ethically, if I don't do that, I'm going to feel awful about doing that. Not in the business of screwing people over, and nobody should be. That's just a little bit of a tidbit that I wanted to share with you. Remember, when you're buying MTG cards, it is sometimes a better idea to go with something that's old and proven, something reserve list, than any of these new flashy cards that can be printed at any point in time. Again, and 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 again, versus once and never again. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Market the Gathering. What did I miss? I want to hear about it. What did you think? I want to hear about that too. I am really excited about Double Masters. I want to see what the set has to offer. However, I'm really excited to just be able to play Paper Magic again, and I can't wait for that to be a time in life. Anyway, until next time, stay shiny.